Hey everyone and welcome to Storytime. My name is Jake and today we are going to be looking at the subreddit r/prorevenge, where people tell us their best stories on when they got revenge on someone or something they didn't like. If you're new around here, please do hit subscribe down below so that you never miss out on another video. But for now, let's sit back, relax and enjoy some pro-revenge stories. Toyota service advisor works his bloody foot off. I worked at a Toyota service department for a few months and it was terrible. But today was the worst day I have ever had at any dealership. The layout is really horrible. It's in South Carolina where it's 95 Fahrenheit outside in February with 90% humidity. We do not have AC in the service drive where I work and customers arrive. They removed our desk fans since they looked bad and put one big fan in the center of the room. It doesn't help us at all, but it looks nice. We usually have 100 plus appointments a day, split between 6 to 9 advisors depending on staff. We had 6 who knew what to do and 3 newbies who are just learning oil and 710 are the same fluid. If a customer comes in, we greet them, get the info from the car, then figure out what their concern is. You also try to sell them on stuff based off their past declined services and the pop-up saying, add engine oil change to the plug-in electric only car. So it's got issues. You need to get a customer in and out quick, without issues and with the most stuff to get paid. I was hired by an old manager of mine at his new position when he saw on Facebook me and my fiance moved back into town. We are paid off of labor hours sold, percentage of parts profit we sell, bonuses for CSI, customer service, bonuses for selling the most of the monthly item, air filter, battery, brakes, etc., and no minimum pay. No hourly, daily, anything. Coming from my old job, with my numbers from there, I would be making twice as much. One of the conditions of my hire is I'm not to drive customers' cars as their insurance wouldn't cover me. During my first 2 weeks of learning on the job their programs, my old manager gets an offer to move to another store and is replaced by the guy who is best to call Chad. Chad was this hotshot who was going to set us up to really be a top tier service department and help us manage flow much better. Well, Chad came from a store who worked on R&R, which is basically Windows 1998 BC. He knew nothing about the programs we were using, or honestly what an emoji is. Wanting to help Chad out, I showed him some options for programs that would help us keep track of notes, reduce away time from desks for us, and also keep our technicians at their bay. He got us a license to use them, and I set everything up. I set up our new programs and started changing our old ones. I really wanted to make things easier day to day. I hated wasting paper and walking to parts to tell them something or to ask my technician for an update. One of the programs was a flagging system showing just profiles you were assigned or create. Certain flags show priority, etc., and you can see all the notes on all cars, message parts, and flag to your parts person. Instead of having to type customer state, vehicle is vibrating at speeds of 45 miles and above, please inspect. Then a new line, customer requests oil change. A new line, customer would like a vacuum but no wash, and so on. I made it so we could click vibration, front left, 45 miles an hour. LOF, suck, no wash. And it would automatically add the text and print with correct part numbers for oil filters, write the oil spec and capacity, and everything out nicely. I did this for about everything I could think of and kept adding more and more. I had it auto-send just part numbers, ticket info, and book lines for internal/customer/warranty/extended warranty out correctly to save time for everyone. Made sure current recalls would also always print based off VIN, so they weren't forgotten. I also made sure loaner vehicles could be checked in or out easier, and being able to have instant access to all of past agreements if something is found in the car or damage is found. These are just some examples, but I basically just copied my profile with permissions for my boss and showed him how to give it to other people. Skip 6 months. No raise, no uniform I was supposed to be provided, and coming in on my days off to help with the programs. It's Monday, and this week I had a nail go straight through my foot at work. I Ubered to the hospital down the road, making sure not to remove the nail. Got it bandaged up, but still going in every day for my 12+ hour shifts, and walking around all day. From my desk, it's probably 100 yards to the car wash, 40 yards to the shop, etc. Because people still don't always use the system, and porters aren't bringing cars up. I'm not insured by them, but still have customers asking politely, "Where is my Prius? I was here for 26 minutes. So I hobble down to the car wash, where it most likely is, and drive it through and up. My team for Saturday, 4 people, had 1 person quit on Wednesday, and 1 person had a funeral to leave early for. The other guy was new, so he was slow to get stuff done. My boss says he'll come in and help. Wednesday, we lock it at 60 appointments, since we have short staff up front and back. Saturdays are half technicians and no diag days. We do take walk-ins too. Thursday, it's at 80, and we tell our boss to lock it. Again on Friday, before closing, we see 110 appointments. He never locked it and took Friday off. Come Saturday morning, we had 130 appointments from 7 AM to 4 PM. I'm having to walk around a lot and ended up bleeding through 3 pairs of socks and bandages I swapped out. I had to chase down about 80% of our customers' cars before our porters that showed up were goofing off. I had 53 open tickets at 12 PM. We had a 4-hour wait time for walk-ins and 2 with appointments. Usually, it would take us 30 minutes for an oil change, from ticket printed to customer paying just for reference. I haven't had lunch or snack since they banned food and drinks at our desks. My friend is about to leave for the funeral, so I cover his remaining tickets and tell him not to worry about me. Then, my boss leaves for lunch, throwing his 20-ish tickets on my desk. So I'm now 110 tickets deep, helping the new guy with stuff, moving cars, and trying not to pass out. Oh, and it's 95 Fahrenheit outside. No AC in our covered area, not inside. And 90% humidity? We didn't even get a breeze. I would stop by the water fountain near the car wash and dream about running through with the windows down and mouth open to cool off. It gets to 3 PM, and I'm rescheduling people who come in, trying to get everyone out when their cars are done, but have to limp them down to pull them in front to leave after they pay. My boss still isn't back, and the new guy quits. He wasn't doing much, but it's his first week, and today sucks. I end up getting in one car, and blood from my sock/shoe drips onto our paper mats in the car. I cleaned everything out, vacuumed the car, washed it, and pulled it up. Customer went crazy that she saw blood on the disposable paper mat, about the weight, not getting a discount for her non-appointed service, and demanded to speak to my manager. That was it, because I wanted to talk to him too. I called him up and was sent to voicemail. I explained it to his mailbox, also texted him a brief summary. I then called the general manager to explain that I have been alone for about 3 hours dealing with an uncapped amount of customers. 5 technicians walked out, I'm still not recovered from my workplace injury, and that I'm finishing my paperwork to take my lunch break at 4 PM with at least 50 customers still waiting. Boss shows up when I'm about to leave to eat my lunch I brought, knowing their provided lunch would be gone before I could set my bloody foot in the break room. He told me that in our state, I'm not legally allowed a lunch break during a shift, and I have to stay to finish out the customers on my tickets. It's after our regular hours at this point. I mentioned being here since 6 AM to open shop and pre-printing everything saying I just need to relax, and he said, "You didn't even clock in this morning, so unless you do what I say, you aren't getting paid." Once again, I'm paid commission here, and a percentage of parts profit for stuff sold. I don't even get 0.1 cents an hour. So I walked to my station, removed all of everyone's login copies of my permissions, deleted all of my notes, deleted all of my warranty macros I set, all the spreadsheets, and reset every custom line I added to our programs, and since I was the original profile, this reset everything for everyone. When I walked out, I got a call when I got to my car, asking, "Why isn't your login able to collect credit cards?" Sounds like a problem. Good luck with that. I have never taken ecstasy, but that drive home was about what I would imagine it as. To make things better, I had 2 cars there, so I had to go back to pick one up while my fiancée is saying how I should burn the place to the ground and how happy she is that I won't be working for Chad anymore. We see that the lights are still on for my general manager's office and the service department with both of them there. I got in my car, wanted to do a huge burnout, but I got a phone call. My general manager asked me to come back at a pay raise and less hours, but I knew it was BS. He wanted to know what went wrong with that day and if I would come inside to discuss with Chad and him. I just hung up and went home. Chad ended up getting let go the following month since he couldn't get things back up to speed. My good friend ended up getting moved to service manager for a bit, then ultimately moved to Mercedes as a parts person, now director. I ended up going to BMW for a bit, and after that, got promoted past Chad's position. If I'm perfectly honest, as soon as I saw the name Chad, I was like, oh, this is going to be a bad story. Like, this guy is going to be the biggest douchebag ever, and yeah, he was. Landlord tries to evict us in the middle of winter, ends up costing her more money. About 5 months after leaving my wife, and my best friend had a falling out with his girlfriend, we ended up moving in together in a 1-bedroom basement apartment near downtown. Here is the cast for the story. My best friend, Joe. The landlord, Carol, because she reminds me of my evil stepmother. The fire marshal, Bill. Health inspector, Jenny. Our lawyer, Jim. And the building inspector, Charles. Alright, I gotta remember all of those. We ended up moving in during the spring of 2007. It was a small apartment and the utilities were included in the rent. We were paying $600 a month. I took the bedroom while Joe slept in the small living room / kitchenette on the couch. There were some problems with a couple of items, but it wasn't anything I couldn't fix. Carol didn't mind me putting down the new cement for the basement steps or fixing the awning outside of our door so it wouldn't leak. Things were looking good until the fall and winter hit. Every time it rained, the water would come down and flood the basement. I had to invest in a shop vac to suck up the water. When it got cold, the heating ducts were virtually useless, so we had to run to the stove to keep warm. This worked out okay until February the next year when Carol got her electric bill. I worked nights and was sleeping when she came down and told Joe that we had to leave because her electric was so high. He tried to explain to her that the heat down here didn't work and we were freezing. She didn't care. Joe wakes me up and tells me this. I was not having it. Joe and I went down to City Hall and went to the Board of Health office. That is where we met Jenny. We explained our situation to her and she set up a time to investigate it with Bill and Charles. About 3 days later, Jenny, Bill and Charles show up at Carol's door and demand to investigate the basement. Carol is angry. As they all come into our apartment, they start listing all the violations such as inadequate heat, unpadded carpet flooring, no second egress, exit, no access to the fuse panels or circuit breakers. Carol starts arguing with Joe about this. She didn't want to talk to me because I was white and Joe was black as she was. But Joe is Blackfoot. She is Haitian. Even still, Joe didn't like her. Why did you call them? I didn't. Who did? I did. You had no right to do this. We don't have a lease. Oh no? What do you call this then? I pull out the agreement we all signed and show her that the electric was included in the rent. Jenny and Charles looked at it as well and said this does constitute as tenancy, at will agreement. She was ordered by the city to repair and bring the basement up to code as long as we were living there. About 2 weeks later, HVAC contractors showed up to start working on putting a separate heating system in for the basement. Also, a county sheriff showed up about another 4 weeks after with letters of eviction for both Joe and I. In Massachusetts, eviction cases go through civil court, but the tenant's lawyer can have the case moved to a housing court. Housing court leans more towards the tenant than the landlord. We speak to our lawyer Jim, who believes we can get our security deposit back, but not much else. Joe is looking to move in with his new girlfriend, and I'm planning on taking her old place, which is only around the block from where we live now. In the meantime, while we are still there at the house, she still has to get it up to code, and we don't have to pay her. We show up to the housing court when Jim tells us our hearing is. Carol does show up with her lawyer. We wait quietly on the other side of the hall, while Jim goes to speak to Carol and her attorney. Jim gives her the proposal for her to pay our security deposit back and Jim's fee. She refuses the offer, and Jim tells her that we will go to trial then. He comes back and tells Joe and I this, and says he will call us when we have to appear. We agree and we all leave. As we are leaving, I see Carol having an argument with the meter maid, who is writing her a ticket for not putting money in the meter. Joe and I are laughing so hard as we drive by her. After Joe and I moved out, she settled for the deposit and lawyer fees. I ended up getting $600 back. But after we left, the inspectors all came back and told her she couldn't rent out the basement anymore. With everything totaled up, she ended up spending over $7,000 in upgrades. Another $1,100 in both mine and her attorney's fees, plus my $600. She ended up putting the house on the market. No one would buy it. I think to this day, it is still up for sale. Any takers? Hey guys, I just want to really quickly mention that I have another channel which is at the top of the description. It's listed under Fake Jake. It's actually a different Reddit channel where I go over the other subreddits like r/whoosh, r/choosing beggars, all the short and funny ones. So if you think you'll enjoy those, then please do give it a watch because you really might enjoy it. And it's my voice, so if you like my voice, then hopefully you should like that one. Hey everyone, I hope you all had a really good day and that you enjoyed that video. If you want to check out some other videos, then click on screen right now or check out the playlist down below. If you enjoyed that video, then please do leave a like. And if you want to submit your own stories, then you can do so by joining the Discord in the top link in the description. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon.